What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the vlog. If you can't tell by this scenery behind me, we are back in Texas, back home at our real home. If you are new here, you probably have never seen this before, so go watch the home vlog, home tour. But if you are an OG, then you can tell we are back in Texas. And if you also follow me on Instagram, then you know our travels lately. But for those of you who are new here and are probably not as up to speed, we live in Denver for half the year and in Texas for half the year because we always rent where Jarrett plays, and we have our home base in the off season, which is so necessary after being in the NFL for 5 years. It's like you just crave that settling down feeling because you're always, always everywhere and you never know where you're going to be. So it's nice to have some place to call home permanently, no matter what team you're on, anything. So we are in Texas. And of course a daily vlog is coming ASAP, but I did ask on my Instagram this week and the people have spoken and they want an updated pregnancy, third trimester, everything vlog. So that's it. It's a Q&A. I posted the questions on my Instagram. So again, I'm just going to read them off there like I usually do any other Q&A. But I, last pregnancy, I did first trimester, second trimester, and third trimester Q&A just to kind of one, document so I remember it, but two, because there are different things that go on in each trimester. So I did that last time. This time I did first trimester and third. So second trimester was just kind of crazy. And honestly for me, second trimester is just kind of chill. But this one was obviously crazy because of football season and everything. And I was pregnant last football season, or not last one, but the last time I was pregnant was during football season as well. But this time was just a whole different ball game of craziness, busyness, and everything. So here I am, third trimester. I am almost 30 weeks. I'm going to say almost 30 because it's been about 2 weeks since I've talked to you guys. Or actually, no, it hasn't been about 2 weeks. We filmed January 8th was the last time I filmed. Yeah, so almost 2 weeks ago, and the last game was, or the last vlog was the last game and then our baby appointment. So really not much has been up except for just moving to Texas and settling in and just getting all of our clothes here, getting our car shipped, all that stuff. But we'll catch up more in a daily vlog. This is just about pregnancy. I feel like I love these vlogs because I just love pregnancy, and you guys always have great questions, and it's always fun to catch up. And of course I get to look back and remember this pregnancy. So yeah, I'm so excited. The last one, obviously literally the last dedicated pregnancy vlog was my first trimester. So this, I've obviously filmed my updates and all that, but they're just, quick updates and measuring and all that. So, and of course, if you haven't watched the last vlog, then this will just give you all the information you need because again, you guys ask great questions. So let's get into the questions, and yeah, I'm excited. All right, starting off with the easiest question. How far along am I? I am 29 weeks and 3 days, something like that. I turn every Friday, but I always get confused if you finish that week, or are you 29 weeks, or are you on your 30th week? You know what I mean? So whatever. I just say I'm 30 weeks pregnant. It's whatever. It's fine. As soon as I get to 29, I'm oh, I'm 29. And then once I get into 29, I'm I'm almost 30. You know what I mean? It's just kind of weird to say 29. But like I said, it is a little bit earlier in my third trimester, but I didn't do a second trimester. So I'm kind of just combining them all because I've obviously been through a third trimester before, you know what I mean? So I know what to expect. However, I always do my fourth trimester Q&A, so that will definitely be happening. So we can address anything in the third trimester and birth and everything later on. But right now, 29 weeks, and that's the easiest and first question. Second question is, what is my labor and delivery plan? Y'all, last time I never had a labor and delivery plan. I really just wanted a healthy, happy baby. And I'm glad I didn't have one because nothing ever goes to plan. I'm sorry. It's God's plan, not mine. Last pregnancy with Lennon, I went into labor very spontaneously at a hockey game and gave birth. And then I ended up almost bleeding out on the table. So good thing I didn't have a birth plan, or else that would not have been my birth plan. You know what I mean? So I don't really believe in like birth plans. The only thing I'm going to say is that I hope for a vaginal delivery. I hope for, and that's not anything against a C-section. It's just I had a vaginal delivery before. I would like it again. I liked it. I want an epidural. Amen to the epidural. And no, it does not hurt. And if you don't want to use meds, more power to you. I love the meds. They were great. And I would like to be in the hospital. I wouldn't like to give birth on a plane or in my bed or in my home, just in the hospital. So that's all I really have in my birth plan. Otherwise, Jesus, take the wheel. Okay, this was a huge question from some of y'all because obviously since I have gotten most of my prenatal care in Denver, I had to switch everything to Texas. One of the questions was, did you find a new OB in Texas? Are you not stressed at all about this? And I was like, of course it is a little bit stressful, but I also am like one of those people that are like, I don't choose to worry about things until I have to. Like if I had to go fly back to Denver for my prenatal appointments until I found an OB, I would have done that, like easy. And especially now that I'm like, you know, once you're in your third trimester, you see them every 2 weeks. And right now I'm at that point. So like I already had one scheduled in Denver just in case that I had to go back, and it's like an hour-and-a-half flight. So it's not hard. But I found an OB here. Moral of the story, I asked on my Instagram and y'all came through, let me tell you. And I found an OB and I see her soon. So I'm very excited to meet her. And obviously we'll keep you guys updated on that. But I feel very confident with the recommendations I got. And Dallas is a great place to give birth. There's a lot of amazing doctors and hospitals around here. So I'm fully confident. I did love my OB in Denver, but I'm like, more babies, you know, more babies will get to go to him, and maybe, I mean, hopefully, you know, if we're in Denver. But yeah, so at least I have one there. And then now I have one here because I have never given birth in Texas. Lennon was born in Boston. We were with the Patriots back then. We were in Boston. We lived in Boston. We didn't have the Texas house back then. And yeah, so this is like, now I need to start like creating roots here. So like I'm excited to meet this OB and go from there. So yes, answer to that question. It did stress me out, but I choose not to be stressed because it's the mindset. Like, why do I need to be stressed? There's no point in that. And figured out. Literally got it sorted within 2 days. So that's it. Okay, next question is the biggest symptom so far this trimester. I'm going to kind of combine this with my second trimester a little bit because one, acid reflux. Oh my God, it's so bad. I'm like on Tums 24/7. Well, kind of. It's like if I eat something that I know is going to trigger it, then I just already eat the Tums. But I don't like to like take too much medicine during pregnancy. Like I just kind of like ride it out. I'm like, as long as I'm not like super sick, I'm fine. But the other symptom I've had is like a weird weak stomach. Like not even like nauseous stomach, like weak stomach. Like I have thrown up so much this pregnancy, and I have never ever thrown up like with Lennon ever. So that was a weird wake-up call for me because I hate throwing up. I have like a phobia of throwing up, and my whole second trimester since my birthday I had been sick. So I would throw up like every single Tuesday. It was on the dot. Jarrett was home, thank God, because Tuesdays are his off days, but it was miserable. And I don't know if it's like something I was eating or something that was just like triggering it or something. I don't know. Because I don't think it was pregnancy nausea. I think it was literally just like I'm eating something that is not sitting right. You know what I mean? Like food poisoning, call it. I don't know. But I've thrown up more this pregnancy than I have in like almost in my entire life. Like ever. I don't throw up at all unless I'm like super drunk. But like that's different. Obviously I'm not super drunk this pregnancy. So the throwing up is weird. So those two symptoms I would say are the weirdest things. Like my sensitive stomach, like I have to be really careful with what I'm eating or else I literally will be like, nope, done. I don't know if that's a boy and girl thing for me. Obviously, all of my symptoms were flipped with boys and girls. I had no nausea, nothing with Lennon, and then this one I've had so much nausea. But I still feel fine. Like I throw up all day one day and then I'm fine. I get an IV and I'm feeling good. So yeah, and now that I'm in my 3rd trimester, I expect it to come back a little bit more. It has been a little bit more present, but it was just a weird thing, like just being that sick so much. So that's kind of like my weirdest symptoms. Okay, I'm guessing these 2 questions are from the last vlog because I'm gonna kind of pair them together. It was, what was baby's position from the last ultrasound, and did you pass your glucose test? So yes, I passed my glucose test. That was all in the last vlog. So if you watched that vlog, then you would know that I took it and passed it with flying colors. If anything, they told me I need to eat more protein. So I've been eating a lot of chicken. That's about it. And then baby's position, head down. So we are set, hopefully. And he's too big to move already, so hopefully he just stays there. If he moves, then I will obviously feel it and I'll be like, oh my God, something happened. But he is head down, very head down. And Lennon actually was like sunny side up, so like she was like facing upwards. This baby is head down towards my spinal cord, which is good, what you want. More for labor, but like right now it's fine, obviously. But yeah, so that answers those 2 questions. Okay, this next question, are you nervous at all about giving birth? In short, no, because I've already done it, so I feel like I know what to expect. I know what's to come. I think the only thing that I'm like it's in the back of my head is like, am I gonna bleed out again? Because I almost did hemorrhage last time. Like, it was crazy because I had given birth and they were like, oh my gosh, you like did not bleed, you didn't tear, you didn't do anything. I was like, sweet. Then all of a sudden the blood gush came, and that was whenever like everything hit the fan, and just not my everything, like shit hit the fan. And it was just like a scary moment. Like Jarrett was crying, I was crying. I was like, am I dying? A little dramatic, but like now looking back, I'm like, okay, I wasn't being that dramatic. I literally thought I was dying on the table. And they did tell me like, you need to calm down because like we're gonna handle it. And I'm like, okay. So I feel like that's the only thing that's in the back of my head, but I had such a positive birth experience. The postpartum is what makes me nervous because like I just remember how tough it was just with one baby. I'm like, how is it going to be with 2 babies? Like, I never had postpartum depression. I'm just not like that kind of like person to have to go, like deal with that. I don't deal with anxiety. I don't deal with depression. So like I never experienced that postpartum. I only just had like a rough recovery process. Like I was bleeding for like 8 weeks. Usually women bleed for like 6 weeks, 5 weeks, less than. I was bleeding strong for 8 weeks. I don't know if it had to do with my hemorrhaging or anything, but you never know. But so I'm just kind of like nervous for that part just because like I didn't have the easiest time recovery, but I'm also like I don't know, like I'm just not a naturally nervous person. It's kind of just in the back of my head. I'm like, okay, I need to mentally prepare for what I'm about to go through since I've already been through it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Yeah, and like the experience of birth overall was so positive for me. Like I loved it. It was so fun. I don't know if it's the athlete in me, but I just loved like the adrenaline rush and the challenge and everything. So it was fun. So yeah, not in short, no, but in long, you guys know what I'm nervous about. Okay, what has been your best moment versus your hardest moment through your pregnancy? I would say the best moment recently for some reason was our most recent ultrasound from last vlog again, because we got to see his face. Like we haven't got to see his face like at all, and I got a straight up shot at his face and I was like, oh my gosh, like it feels so much more real to like see their nose, see their features, see his eyes. So I loved that, and that was like the best part, and Jarrett was able to go. And then my last ultrasound was like 20 weeks. So like, again, if you had followed my last pregnancy journey, I got ultrasounds like every 2 weeks because I was spotting a lot, and it wasn't like a high risk pregnancy. It was just like a lot of spotting, like weird stuff. So I got to see her a lot. And this one, I'm like, I haven't got to see him barely any, so like 3 times on ultrasound, which is like normal. That's a normal pregnancy. But I'm like, ugh, I just missed it. So I feel like the best part, it's like through my pregnancy so far, was that last ultrasound, seeing his face and like everything. And it was so cool. And like seeing all of it, yeah. And then the hardest part I would say is not being able to be like my normal energetic self with Lennon, and like taking her to do things, and like being able to like keep up with her and like fully like entertain her like I used to be able to, because like I'm just so exhausted. I'm so tired. Pregnancy with a toddler is not for the weak, let me tell you. But I feel like I'm doing a good job, and I try to remind myself, I'm like, look, I'm not super mom. I try to be, but I'm not. And all she wants is me to be there with her. So like I just do that. Like I just try to be present with her as much as I can. But I would say that's the hardest thing. That not like, obviously like first pregnancy, if I was tired, I laid down. I didn't have a toddler to chase. I didn't have a toddler to entertain and teach and pour into. I just poured into myself, and now this time it's a lot different. But so I would say that's the hardest part, but I'm still thankful for it. And she loves the fact that there's a baby in my belly. She'll always touch him and like talk to him and say his name. And so I really think that she is like so excited too. So I'm really excited for that. But yeah, that would be the best versus hardest. This question says, how do you prepare for birth? Any exercises to help assist you? No. I feel like I want to answer this because I feel like so many people stress about preparing for birth. Your body knows what to do. It does. If you want to prepare with like classes, love that. I feel like if I did that for the first, obviously my first pregnancy. Carrie Locker, I'm gonna put it below. I loved all of her stuff about basic baby stuff, like courses and all of that. That helped me so much prepare for birth and baby and everything. And I do know that if you probably ask your OBGYN, they can have birth classes. I had friends that took birth classes. I just didn't think that was necessary for me. I'm like, my body will know what to do. I'm not that stressed. I'm more of a person that just kind of like, I love being in control, but I don't need to be with like stuff that I know I can't control. Does that make sense? Like I love being in control of the things that I can control, but like I don't need to be in control of this because like I don't even know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like birth is so spontaneous, sporadic, it never goes to plan, and I just don't even want to try to even pretend like I will. But I will say educating yourself is great. This also said hypnotherapy. I have no idea what hypnotherapy is. Anybody else done hypnotherapy with birth? I don't know. But for what looks like for me, preparing for birth is just like probably refreshing up my skills of like basic baby stuff. Cause like I have already forgotten all about the newborn stuff. I'm like, oh my God, their umbilical cord, and also dealing with the penis. I'm so like, what? Like circumcision or whatever they do. Like, I don't even know. Like you have to hold their penis down while they pee, and like while you change a diaper, they'll pee all over you. I didn't know that stuff. So like, I think for me, what that's going to look like is rebrushing up on my facts. I took Carrie Locker's course and I loved it. And breastfeeding, all of that. I need to remember like how to pump, my pump settings. Like I don't remember that stuff. Like I was like on auto mode for my whole postpartum, it feels like. So just kind of like remembering what that looks like. But exercises to help assist me, I didn't do anything like that. I've heard you can do perineal massaging, but I did fine. I didn't tear, so I'm just gonna hope for the same thing. So that's kind of my answer to that question, because I feel like people probably like have all these things and stuff like that, and I just want to be someone who's transparent and just tell you I don't. I'm just gonna show up and push a baby out, hopefully. That's my plan. This question says, what will you do differently to prepare for postpartum? Personally, more ice pads. That's what the person said. And I totally agree. I'm gonna get stocked up with more hospital stuff. I left the hospital with like a good, decent chunk, but take as much as you can. Trust me. Like, take as much of stuff from the hospital that you can and use it until you have to tap into your at-home stash, which I used Freedom Mom everything, like Freedom Mom, the underwear, all of that. It was fantastic. I also loved these Z Always pads. I wore those, not pads, it's like literally like a diaper with a pad in it. Those were fantastic because it was like the hospital stuff, like the mesh undies and all that, but better. So I will put the Z underneath the Z stuff link below. I also have a whole video on this, like my 4th trimester stuff. not much I would change from what I did to prepare for postpartum, except for my mentality. I know what to expect now, and I'm excited that I'm not going to be like super surprised. If anything, I will be pleasantly surprised that it maybe wasn't as bad. And I hope it's better. You know what I mean? So like I'm trying to like think I'm gonna go up, not down. You know what I mean? We're gonna hope and pray for that. All right, nursery inspo / update. So London has 2 nurseries because we have 2 homes. So this baby boy will have 2 nurseries, and I'm actually working with baby Leto on our nursery, and I'm so excited. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you all that, but I did. Oops. But that will be get going in the next like 2 weeks. I'm getting all the stuff shipped out within the next week, and we have our guest room. If you remember from the home tour, it's going to be the industrial looking guest room because that has the bathroom that like we planned more for a boy, if that makes sense. And we have 4 bedrooms in our home, but I feel like once you have like a family, you stop having like as many guest rooms and you have baby rooms. You know what I mean? So like that's what the point is, for the room to be for a baby. So that room will be turned into a nursery. I will probably go over more of this in a daily vlog with y'all, but I will show you guys my inspo. It is like very Ralph Lauren, grandpa, vintage sports. Envision it. It's all right here. Pretend. I will pop up pictures, but I'm really excited. I've already started ordering stuff. We obviously have the stuff from Baby Leto coming, the crib, the dresser, the rocking chair. I gotta get some curtains. I gotta get my wallpaper. So I'm very excited. But yeah, that's the inspo for the nursery for baby boy. Okay, I'm just gonna combine this question because it's like a 2-part question. What is he measuring, and do you think he's gonna come early like Lennon did? So again, if you're not familiar with my last pregnancy, Lennon came at 38 weeks on the dot, and it was glorious, and I loved every second of having an early baby. And I'm hoping for the same. And I hate to mention last vlog again, but if you watched last vlog, he is measuring like really far ahead. Not because I'm off on my due date, it's because he's just growing big. He's a tall boy, he's got a big head apparently. And what I went in at 27 weeks, and he was measuring almost 31 weeks. So like that's like a whole 4 weeks ahead. And so usually if they're measuring like 2 weeks ahead, they give you like whatever. They're like, it's fine. Usually babies are always like somewhere in the realm of like 2 weeks, you know what I mean? Like 2 weeks, give or take. And since he was measuring so far ahead because he's like growing so much, I have to get growth scans every 2 weeks now. So I'm due for a growth scan soon, so we will know more. I will obviously vlog that and everything, but I've always had a feeling he was coming early. If you remember from one of my first pregnancy vlogs, this pregnancy, my prediction was, where I had a dream that he was a boy, and I was right. And I had a dream that he came at 37 weeks and 6 days, which is literally almost 38 weeks, but like 37 weeks and 6 days is like on the paper in my head, and he was 9 pounds. So we're on track for that coming true if that happens. And if that happens, I'm going to Vegas and going to buy a lottery ticket or something. But that was like my dream. And now I'm like, that's so crazy that like my dream was that vivid, and that it's like, wait a second, it's kind of like might happen. But a 9-pound baby at 38 weeks, 37 weeks and 6 days, that'd be insane. That would be crazy. But he is measuring very big. He's measuring in the 99th percentile, which Lennon never did. But I'm glad. She's a cute little dainty girl. Actually, she's huge for her age, but when she came out, she was 7'7", so like we love that for me and my body. But now she's growing tall, very tall like her daddy, and very she like is in the 98th percentile. So the fact that this baby's in the 99th percentile in my stomach, I'm like, And so they're like, let's keep an eye. So that's kind of like the only thing with measurement / coming early wise. So we'll know more. I mean, obviously all of this is like a guesstimate, like they can never really truly know how big baby is. But the growth scans are what tell us more about it. So So to answer your question, I think yes, he's coming early. I hope he's coming early. I would love if he came early. But if he doesn't come early, I think either way he will be, because they won't let me go to term if he's measuring this far ahead, if that makes sense. They already told me that. So we'll see. We'll see at the next growth scan. That's my, stay tuned for that. But my next growth scan's in about a week, so I'm very excited to see what the consensus is. Maybe the lady measured wrong. I doubt it. She was amazing. She's a great nurse. Yeah, what is he measuring? Do you think he's coming early? Like Lennon. Yeah, that's it. His head was measuring 30 weeks and 6 days, which is 31 weeks. And I was 27 weeks and 3 days at that time. So like literally, and they say the head is the most calcified, so that's what they go off of, like for accurate measuring. And then his legs were measuring like 30 weeks and 4 days, which is like the same thing, you know what I mean? And then his stomach was measuring like 29 weeks, which is still 2 weeks ahead. But again, the head was the one that was the most calcified and the most reliable, and that said 31 weeks. So either homeboy's gonna be real big, or he just grew a lot and now he's gonna settle down. We'll see. We'll see. I knew this question was gonna come up, and of course I'm gonna answer it. Any name hints? I know you won't tell us his name, but can we have a hint? No, I'm sorry. No hints. Mainly because if I give you a hint, it will totally give it away. Totally give it away. Like, I can't even give you a hint that will like not give it away. Like, it's so obvious once I say a hint, so I can't. And it's a great name. It's one of those names that like, it's not too unique, but it is to where you've probably never met one, because I have never met one personally. I only know of one. Maybe that's a hint. I don't know. But yeah, I love his name. And I will give you a hint for his middle name, because I did get asked this question too. It said, will you tell us his middle name even though you're not telling us his first name? I will tell you that it is a family name. That will give that away if you know my family, or if you want to do some digging. That'll give my middle name away. His middle name, not his middle name. But yeah, that's all the name hints you get for now. I'm gonna end off on this question. It says, tips for any first-time moms and any products or baby things we absolutely need from the get-go. So, tips for first-time moms / maybe if you're in the same boat as me and we're about to go be a mom to 2 under 2 together. But my tip for first-time moms is don't put an expectation on anything, because then it just makes everything better. Does that make sense? Because I feel like whenever I first started out as a mom, I was like, my expectations were like, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I don't care if I have a child. And yes, that is still very true. But like, you got to like lower your expectations a little bit so that you are pleasantly surprised. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain, but I just feel like you can't really have expectations anymore whenever you become a mom. Like, because your main priority is like are shifted. Like, they're all shifted towards your baby and caring for your child and making sure your child grows up healthy and eats great and has a happy life. And those are like my new expectations. So like, I feel like if you have this mindset that like nothing's gonna change, I'm gonna make sure of it, you're gonna be let down. So like, just know everything's gonna change, but it's going to be like the best change. Like, I fully believe that I am meant to be a mom, and I was put on this earth to be a mom, and I'm loving every single second of it. That doesn't mean it's not hard and it's not gonna be like easy, but like, it is the most rewarding thing ever. And yeah, I feel like having that mindset of like I'm just gonna be the best mom I can be for Lennon and for the best wife I can be for Jarrett, and not have any expectations of what that looks like, is the most important thing for your mindset, your mentality, and everything. So that's my tip. I feel like if you want an example, my example I would give you is like, when you go out to eat somewhere, like you go out to eat with your baby and you're like, this is gonna be great. I'm not gonna stop having my margarita Mondays with my friends. I'm gonna bring my baby along. Just do it. Just like lower your expectations. Don't be because like we just went to Waffle House the other day and me and Jarrett were like expecting the worst because Lennon is a very independent, loud human being and she loves to be happy and be the center of attention and run off and go dance and do whatever. And me and Jarrett both were like, all right, we're gonna go to Waffle House and we're just gonna expect this to go horribly, but we're gonna have fun and we're gonna eat and we're gonna make sure that we are just on our toes. And she actually did amazing. Like I was like, oh my God, this is great. And like not every single time is gonna go like that, but like, you know, we lowered our expectations and we were pleasantly surprised. So I feel like that's just kind of like my tip in a roundabout way. And then what was the other part of the question? Oh, any baby products we absolutely need from the get-go. Swaddles. My favorite swaddles are Swaddle Me. I will put this all below. I also have a whole video dedicated to my favorite baby products. So you can also go look at that. I will link that video as well. But my number one things that I can think of off the top of my head that I will be bringing to the hospital with me, my own swaddles, because the blanket swaddles are great, but like they're not. I'm gonna bring my own Velcro swaddles because they're really easy for me and Jared to use. And that's what baby boy will be sleeping in for the next 4 months. So I'm gonna bring my own swaddles. I'm going to bring a cute outfit because I didn't do that with Lennon. So I'm definitely doing that with baby boy with his like name on it because I love that. Baby products from the get-go. Bouncer. Always use a bouncer or a Snuggle Me. I use, or not a Snuggle Me. Yeah, it is a Snuggle Me. Swaddle Me are the swaddles. Snuggle Me is like, I don't like Docatot. Docatot sucks. Lennon spit up all the time. And Snuggle Me, I threw it in the wash. Docatot, you have to like undo it, put it in the wash, and I never put that stupid stuff back on it. Like it just was so dumb. So if you want any tip from me, I go Snuggle Me, not Docatot. Docatot is so overrated in my mom opinion. But yeah, so Snuggle Me, love Snuggle Me's. And then Baby Bjorn Bouncer, I love that. There's also a Target Delight one that I loved because London again did have a lot of reflux and spit up a lot, so having the Target Delight one that was at a cheaper price range was great. What else? Coterie diapers. I swear by Coterie. I love Coterie. I love their wipes. So take it or leave it. People use Huggies, whatever you want to use, but I love Coterie diapers for all that. What else? Top baby products. Yeah, I feel like that's really, I mean, I love the Snoo. I'm going to be using the Snoo for a long time. Snoo is great. Lennon was in the Snoo until about 5 months and then we switched her to the crib and she had no issues. I feel like there's so much like drawback from the Snoo because everyone's like, oh, you only use it for a short amount of time. Oh, I'm like 5 months of good sleep. That's not a short time. That is necessary for me. It is necessary. And who knows how this baby's going to sleep, but the Snoo will help at least a little bit. So yeah, Snoo is one of my top baby products ever. I know some people hate it, some people love it, but I love it. I love it so much. Nanit, I love the Nanit monitor because I can watch it from anywhere on my phone. It made me feel like I could leave the house sooner just because I could literally watch Lennon like literally right now if I wanted to. And like you don't even have to be home. I love the Nanit monitor. There she is. Cutie babe. Love it. Cuddling with her bun bun. Other baby products. All Over Ointment, Tubby Todd. We use that still to this day. Love it. Again, I have a whole video on this, so just go watch that if you want more in-depth products that I use for the newborn phase. But those are just the ones off the top of my head that I will be using ASAP. Yeah. basically babies are in onesies and swaddles for like the first 4 weeks of their life. So just got to get through those 4 weeks and then we'll go from there. Well, y'all, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this 3rd trimester Q&A. We will catch up after my birth and all that with like a more dedicated pregnancy vlog. And as always, you know, if you want to keep up with us on Instagram, I will be there answering weekly questions, and I'm sure a lot more will come up throughout this 3rd trimester. But as of right now, very excited. I also didn't even mention this, but another question was, how far along are you and what's baby's due date? Baby's due date is apparently apparently April 5th, and that's like the due date. But after my growth scan, the estimated due date was 3/17. So pick or choose. Y'all let me know in the comments when you think baby's coming, because I love a good guessing game. It's so much fun. But yeah, that's it. Next vlog will probably be a daily vlog, just going through Texas house because I'm so excited to be home and show you guys our house here. And just, I love daily vlogs. They're easy and they're fun and taking you guys through our daily life. But I will be filming the next pregnancy update, of course, and then like I always do, I'll do a 4th trimester vlog after Q&A, whatever you want to call it, after I give birth. So thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all next vlog.